It was a quiet evening in the old part of Riverside City, a coastal town known for its narrow streets and restless whispers. The locals called one alley in particular Heroes Lane, though no one could quite remember why. On that foggy night, the lamps flickered weakly, as if afraid of what the mist might reveal. Just before midnight, a shadow slipped across the damp cobblestones. Moments later, a scream pierced the silence, sharp, desperate, and short-lived. When the police arrived, they found an abandoned vehicle at the end of the alley, its headlights still glowing faintly. Inside, on the driver's seat, lay a blood-stained envelope addressed to someone named Harold Green. Detective David Cole arrived minutes later, his coat collar turned up against the cold. He was a man of precision, sharp eyes, calm demeanor, and a reputation for piecing together the truth from chaos. Standing beside him was Officer Thomas Reed, young and eager, but visibly unsettled. "No sign of the victim?" Cole asked, scanning the shadows. "None, sir," Reed replied. "Neighbors said they heard shouting, then a loud bang, then nothing." "And this envelope?" "Postmarked 2 days ago, no return address." Cole slipped on gloves and carefully opened it. Inside was a single photograph, a group of men standing beside an old warehouse by the docks. One face was circled in red ink. On the back, written hastily, "Find the man in the circle. He knows the truth." Cole frowned. Whoever sent this knew something, and whoever this is, he tapped the circled face, wasn't supposed to talk. The first clues. The car was registered to Harold Green, a local businessman known for his import-export trade. According to the records, he owned several warehouses near the waterfront, one of which had burned down mysteriously 2 years earlier. Back at headquarters, Cole pulled the old file. The fire had been ruled accidental, but whispers in the report hinted at illegal shipments and smuggling operations. Harold Green's name appeared several times, alongside another man, Arthur Blake, a wealthy landowner with deep political ties. "Arthur Blake," Cole muttered. "That name keeps showing up." Reed leaned over his shoulder. "You think he's involved?" Cole didn't answer. He was staring at a smaller note clipped to the old report. "Unconfirmed sightings. Warehouse 17B. Late-night deliveries. Unmarked trucks." A visit to the widow. The next morning, Cole and Reed visited Harold Green's estate on the outskirts of the city. The house was large but quiet, its grandeur faded. Margaret Green, Harold's wife, greeted them at the door. Her eyes were red, but her posture composed. Too composed, Cole thought. "Mrs. Green, we're investigating your husband's disappearance." "Disappearance? You mean he's not dead?" "We don't know yet, but we found his car last night and there were signs of violence." "I told him something like this would happen. He was involved with people he shouldn't have been." "Who exactly?" "Arthur Blake. My husband worked with him years ago. They made money fast, too fast. Then they fought. Harold said Blake was hiding something big, something that could ruin them both." She reached for a small key on the table and handed it to Cole. "This opens Harold's private safe in his study. Maybe it'll tell you what he couldn't." The secret safe. Back at the estate, Cole unlocked the safe. Inside were stacks of old documents, several passports under different names, and a small black notebook. Each page was filled with coded notes, dates, and initials. One entry caught Cole's attention. "Blake, 17B. Shipment due Friday. Don't let Cole find out." 17B again, Reed muttered. Cole nodded. "Warehouse 17B. That's where we go next." As they closed the safe, Cole noticed something taped to the inner wall, a photograph, much older than the rest. It showed Harold and Blake shaking hands beside a younger woman with striking features. On the back, scribbled in faded ink, "To New Beginnings, M.S., 1998. The warehouse. That night, under a light drizzle, Cole and Reed approached Warehouse 17B. The gate hung loosely and the padlock was broken. Inside, the air smelled of oil and dust. Empty crates lined the walls, and deep tire tracks led towards the back. Cole's flashlight beam swept across the floor, then froze. A dark stain. Fresh. Reed crouched beside it. "Blood, sir." "Still warm," Cole said grimly. "We're not far behind." Suddenly, a noise echoed from the mezzanine above, a soft metallic clank. Cole drew his gun, motioning for Reed to flank left. Step by step, they climbed the stairs. The beam of light caught a shadow darting behind a stack of crates. "Riverside PD, show yourself." A figure stumbled out, a man in his 30s, disheveled, bleeding from his arm. "Don't shoot. I didn't kill him." Cole lowered his weapon slightly. "Who are you?" "Name's Eddie Marshall. I worked for Harold. I was supposed to unload tonight's shipment, but when I got here, he was gone. Then someone came after me, masked, armed. I barely escaped." Cole exchanged a look with Reed. "What shipment?" "I don't know. They never tell me what's inside. Just boxes, heavy ones. But Harold said this was the last run. He said after tonight, he'd finally come clean." I'd take a breath. "Where were they sending it?" "Not sure, but he mentioned Blake. He said the old man wouldn't forgive him if he talked." Cole's jaw tightened. Blake again. Before he could press further, headlights flashed across the warehouse windows, a car pulling up fast. Cole ducked behind a pillar and peered through the gap. Two men in suits stepped out, carrying something heavy between them, a long rectangular case. "Looks like we're not alone," Cole whispered. The ambush. The men entered, unaware of the detectives. Cole signaled Reed to circle around. As the intruders set down the case, one pulled out a phone. "Yeah, it's done. The boss wants it sealed by dawn. No witnesses." Cole stepped out, gun drawn. "Drop it! Police!" The two men froze, then bolted in opposite directions. Reed tackled one to the ground, while Cole chased the other through the maze of crates. A shot rang out. Splinters flew past Cole's face. He returned fire, clipping the man's shoulder. The suspect crashed into a pile of boxes and fell hard. Cole approached cautiously, gun still trained. "Who sent you?" The man spat blood, eyes cold. "You think you're the first one to dig into Blake's business? You'll end up like Green, buried." Before Cole could react, the man reached into his jacket, not for a gun, but for a small switch. He pressed it. A deep rumble shook the floor. "Bomb!" Reed shouted. Cole grabbed Reed and Eddie, dragging them toward the exit. Flames erupted behind them as the warehouse exploded, sending debris flying into the night sky. They tumbled onto the wet asphalt, coughing. Behind them, 17B burned like a funeral pyre. Reed wiped his face. "What the hell was that?" Cole stared at the blaze. A cover-up. Someone wanted this place erased. He turned to Eddie. "You coming with us? You've got a lot more to tell." Eddie nodded weakly. "You don't understand, Detective. Blake's not the one you should be afraid of." Cole narrowed his eyes. "Then who?" "The woman in the picture. M.S. She runs everything now." Cole froze. M.S. The same initials from the photo in Harold's safe. A storm was brewing, and this was only the beginning.